Archmage versus Farseer is expected. Farseer with a grunt into Headhunters. Maybe expecting a Mountain King or expecting a fast expansion. Generally, one of those two things you want to play grunt into Headhunters as opposed to Headhunters into grunts. So if HawK expands, Starbuck has the correct build order, but if he plays Archmage and doesn't Expo, I would say maybe a better opener for HawK. 3 farms with tower. Would expect a aggressive first camp, probably this orange. Not the easiest map to creep level 3 on, unless you go for like this camp, which is difficult. Actually going for the Expo right away. Starbuck goes forward. No War Mill. Actually, just 2 burrows. Not going for Headhunters. Pure grunt. Interesting. And Wolf will scout the Expo. And Starbuck goes towards the main. HawK gets level 2. And gets the whole creep camp. As well as Gloves of Haste. Arcane Tower done. Notice the timing. Excellent for HawK. And this just seems like it's going to be a clean expansion by HawK, but Starbuck dives in for the Peasants. And again, the spawn for HawK, bottom, so the boat has easy access if he wants it. Grunt gets surrounded, but so does the Archmage, kind of. Yeah, Starbuck happy to trade damage on the Archmage for the Grunt here, it seems. Already half HP. Maybe HawK should think about building a shop before the expansion. I know it sounds crazy, but maybe it's crazy. I don't know.
A player's forces are under attack.
There should be a second grunt. There it is. Seems late, but maybe it just seems that way. Arcane Tower. Should be safe, but he just wants to force the Peasants to come forward. I don't know why HawK doesn't need to run like this with his Archmage. He's just sort of getting owned a little bit. But now the Arcane Tower's up, and now the Town Hall will come up. A little bit late, but it's all good. Would love to see a shop from HawK very, very soon. Starbuck already tier 2. Double Bestiary? I wonder. Oh, HawK not power building currently. TC and single Bestiary so far. Can't afford a second one just yet. Oh no, there it is. 2 Beasts. Get a boat, drop raiders from the back, and bring raiders in from the front. Full surround on the Town Hall. I want to see it. And yeah, HawK is going for a shop now as well over here. Doesn't have a level 3 Archmage. I think we're in the days of needing level 3 Archmage if you're expanding. I don't think this whole fast expansion thing is as good as I once said it was. I think these days you just need the level 2 water elementals. Village on the way. It was not forgotten about. Not even close to forgotten about. Town Hall's up. Shop is up. And HawK trying to get level 3. Needs one more creep camp for it. Oh, Grunt gets surrounded again. HawK. Nice micro so far. And this Grunt would be level 3 on the Archmage. Maybe it'd be just under. Oh, Peasant replaces the surround. Denied by the Farseer. HawK even targeted the Arcane Tower so he didn't lose the XP, but unfortunately not good enough to stop the Farseer getting the last hit. Raiders on their way. Archmage going to struggle in this position. Shockwave on level 1. Oh, HawK goes for a lot of surrounds this game. Unorthodox. You don't see him go for surrounds as often as he is in this spot. With the TC. Close. Starbuck's got to be a little bit careful, though. Shockwave could be good. Good damage. Let's go for it. Tech coming up for HawK now. The Raider numbers are rising, and now HawK's going to struggle to leave his base. He's getting a lumber mill. He's getting some more towers, at least at the expo. Needs to start blocking this with farms. Because once there's about 5 raiders, that's when a town hall snipe becomes a serious possibility. Which there is at least 4 right now.
Town is under siege. Our players' forces are under attack.
HawK just needs 1 kill for level 3 Archmage. There's guard towers coming up, but no farms blocking this. Ooh, level 3. I think he killed a wolf. Starbuck getting a lot of kills, but a lot of damage put on the units, and HawK knows he can lose footmen as long as he deals enough damage to not allow this town hall to get killed. Blacksmith in the back. He's blocking the boat access. 500 IQ from HawK.
A player's forces are under attack.
HawK about to be tier 2. MK will be a serious boost to this defense, but the altar very exposed, so Starbuck could easily snipe it. More raiders coming in. Does he have backpack? I think he does have backpack. Yeah, salves on the raider. Nice. Oh yeah, you can see it up here, of course. Yeah. And this is a fantastic game to use backpack in. One of the few cases ORC can really utilize backpack to its full potential. Archmage, you need a TP. Right here. And now just pivot to the main base. Altar will be killed before the MK comes out.
A player's forces are under attack.
Trying to save it. The MK would make this a lot more difficult of a game for Starbuck. But it falls anyway. Maybe Panda now that the altar's died. Panda could be great. And tier 3 for Starbuck. Tier 3 is to go for a counter expansion. Maybe realizing he's done a lot of damage, but he's not actually going to be able to stop 2 base.
A player's forces are under attack.
Archmage, forced into a potion, going to be forced into another town portal. Oh, maybe not. The Raiders actually move a little bit poorly for just 1 second. Altar's back up. But I think the Raiders are too bruised to do anything about it. Let's see. Militia called.
A player's forces are under attack.
Okay, Mountain King will come up. Careful with the Farseer. He doesn't actually know the timing on the MK. Oh, block forces the TP. And HawK holds with some losses, for sure. But not insane losses, and he hasn't been forced into too many towers. 3 at each base is not an over-towered position.
A player's forces are under attack.
But Starbuck will be tier 3 soon. Level 2 on the TC finally. And Starbuck. Gonna clear the expo, will buy a tiny Great Hall, I assume. Ooh, Skeleton Orc Grunt is quite nice against the Raiders.
A player's forces
One
are under attack.
question for Starbuck is what tech does he build? Like, for me, I tend to like to go Walkers and Mass Windriders in this position. once I have my expansion up, but Starbuck might have different ideas what actual army he wants to build, because you're not going to win the game with mass raiders in a 2-base situation. So we'll see what army he goes into. Shadowhunter third, Walkers and Windriders would be my best guess, with a Kodo with the upgrades. But for starters, Tiny Great Hall and a Shredder is going to be his next couple of steps in this game. Maybe not the Shredder, though, because he'd have to break upkeep. There's the Tiny. And peons transferred over.
A player's forces are
Starbuck.
under attack.
The issue with Starbuck's army is he's got a lot of raiders, so he needs to probably make an aggressive move and trade out some of these raiders for some of the casters or for some building kills. Maybe he can snipe the town hall one time. But he cannot just play this game with this amount of raiders. So he's going in Venom Spears. He's currently at 49 supply. If he builds anything else, he's going to break upkeep. So I imagine he'll take a fight, lose some raiders, and then replace the raiders with a Shadowhunter third, a Shredder for lumber, and Windriders, and probably in the meantime build a Torn Totem as well as get reinforced defenses. Hey, Yaz. Good to see you. Thank you for the 3 years. Appreciate you. Hope all is well. Hope you had a good Christmas, good New Year's. So, Starbuck goes Windriders without trading out the Raiders. He just breaks upkeep. No Shadowhunter third. Wants to just play for the high-level TC Farseer, which at this stage is actually going to be good because then he can easily deal with the Footmen that would otherwise be quite the nuisance. Footmen go into the peon line. No Burrow there to defend. Oh, but he actually finds his way into the casters. Shockwave will land as well. Look at that. Speed scroll. Still not a good enough army for Starbuck to win this fight, but he can get some kills. Maybe even at even trades. Footman in the meantime, though. HawK just has to delay this fight as long as he can, and then he'll kill all the peasants. Windriders finally come in. Oh, force a TP potentially. Killed a lot of casters. Really nice fight for Starbuck. But in the meantime, every single peon dies, and this hurts a lot because you don't tend to have a lot of extra peons back at home to replace them. So Mega Break is completely out of the question. What kind of items do we have? We don't have enough items to do the Mega Break, unfortunately. TP's into the red camp. I like that choice. No tier 3. So it's just going to be Caster Breaker. But against Windriders, we're going to need to see Flying Machines, I'm afraid. Which makes the game a little bit more complicated because then we're going to see Bat Riders. And then it's all just a complete mess. But Starbuck with not a ton of gold, losing those peons hurt him. He's still not fully saturated over here. And right now he needs to get a Kodo. He needs to get probably a Torn Totem soon. He doesn't have a TP. So Starbuck is verging on a difficult position. But he's still putting in some good damage. Catches some casters out of position. Oh, TC surrounded. There's no TP currently. TC trying to fight his way out, but does fall. The surrounds from HawK this game have been making a big impact. And he typically doesn't go for surrounds a lot. He's not a player that does that. He mostly focuses on other things other than fancy surround block plays. Like, you know, players like Miko maybe prioritize more going for surrounds and blocks. HawK doesn't do them a lot. But this game, he goes for them and they pay off. Hugely. TC back from the tavern. 41 against 54. Oh, Spirit Lodge coming up. Doesn't want to go for walkers now that the breaker numbers have risen. Heal scroll used. MK doesn't have any bolts, but still be masking Aura level 2. Means he'll have a bolt in a couple of seconds. More Wind Riders coming up. Did kill a bunch of flying machines. Bloodlusted Wind Riders seem to be the tactic. Oh, he's gonna lose all of his peons again. Footman, Water Elemental, Grunt, gonna go into the peon line. All HawK has to do is delay long enough to kill these peons, and then he's in a fantastic position yet again. Was it Merc? It's essentially just a Grunt. Just a Grunt with Brute Strength upgrade. Surround again. Potion of Vulnerability swapped over, and that buys all the time he needs, and 1-0 for HawK. A fantastic game from him. One zero. Great game from HawK. Great, nice game, yeah, for sure. And without Pally rifles as well. Incredible. Don't know what map 2 will be. Northern Isles is map number 2. HawK warmed up on B Cup. Oh, he did play B Cup today, didn't he? Here we go, loading in. Northern Isles is a map with some much different strategies available. Nice. Overlay. Okay, so what is it? There seems to be a pattern as to when the overlay bugs and when it doesn't. It's like when we go to the stat screen, like when we go to this. Oh, when we go to that screen, then the overlay bugs, even if I restart it. Weird. Points, we did the whole series. You gotta read before you gamble. This is a life lesson for you, Knight Elvis. Always read before you gamble. Okay, here's game number 2. In the bottom left, here is Starbuck. In the upper right, here is HawK. Pally rifles! Yes! Yes, this is what we wanted to see. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, HawK. Okay, so Starbuck recently played against this in the Don't Force Me Cup. He did not win that series, but he showcased a strategy that I thought was partially him, partially Hitman, but apparently Scars did it a year and a half ago. So every Orc player invented this strat, apparently. But what it is Farseer Headhunters, standard. Once you hit tier 2, you bring your headhunters back to the tavern, you grab a panda, you creep both center camps. You immediately go tier 3. At tier 3, you get a Firelord 3rd for Soulburn. And then what Starbuck does is goes for a bestiary with a Kodo. But what I think you should go for is Torrens. What Armin thinks you should go for is Bloodlust. But essentially the idea is always the same. Immediate tier 3 tech, panda at tier 2. Firelord at tier 3. This is the only strategy, and I mean the only strategy, in which you can actually win the fight at 7.5 minutes against Pally Rifles. It's the only one. There is no other strategy that wins if the human is allowed to push. Really don't think Shamans work with range. I think Taurens are the best unit other than Berserkers. Starbuck goes for a Kodo. He goes for one single Kodo. The only thing with that is then the bestiary doesn't get really much value. With a Tauren Totem, yes, the first Tauren might not be that impactful, but at least you can continuously produce off the Tauren Totem. So let's see how this plays out. Starbuck might not go for that build, but I think it's his best bet, in my opinion. Score? Oh, yeah. Here you go. But for now, everything's the same. Harass, trying to force Holy Lights, trying to delay the creeping. Arcane Tower's up. HawK really doesn't execute the build properly on Mo. Yeah, I haven't seen him play Pally Rifles. I'm excited to see it. +1 attack for the Headhunters. Already coming up. That's a cool choice. Like, the fact that you can get it so early makes it very valuable. Pet coming up. And 4 Riflemans... 4 Riflemans? Sure. It tends to be the time in which the Orc has to back away. Because 4 makes it really easy to actually start trading and winning the exchange. Right now, HawK seems a little more timid than he has to be. Might be forced into a shop. There it is. He's waiting for his next farm anyway to build his 5th Rifleman. HawK could call like 2-3 militia and fight this. Starbuck has microed this. Fantastic so far. Look how healthy everything is. Not easy to do this. Will Starbuck go back to the tavern now? He could do an entirely different build from what I was just suggesting. But if he's going to do the panda thing, he would now send the Headhunters back to the tavern and start creeping both center camps. But maybe he's done so much delay already that he feels he can play tier 2. Yeah, he's going to go TC. He's going to play TC. With a bestiary. Okay. Does anyone else not win the bet points? Night Elves, is the stream muted? Can you hear my voice right now? No Rifleman lost so far, but he has to heal all of them up. Oh, he's going to lose a Rifleman. His base is so bad. His base is not fantastic. I'll give you that much. What's the XP on the Paladin? That. Starbuck really just dominating. And one Headhunter falls, and that's the cue to go back. Okay, HawK finally has some space. But TC's creeping the center. Blood Mage is almost out. And Arcane Sanctum for HawK. Almost level 2. Can he get it? TC gets the Healthstone. Would love to get heal wards in this spot, and then he can just creep this camp, but he probably will anyway. Even if he had to use the Healthstone, getting the shop is probably valuable enough. HawK goes towards the center. He's a little bit late to stop the marketplace, but he has the right idea. 2 bestiary. Grinchy, what's up, dude? Good to see you. Thank you for the 41 months. Says, fruition for your future artistic endeavors in 2K25. Thank you, Grinchy. Appreciate you. Good to see you. Hope you had a good New Year's and Christmas and all that. Yeah, Starbuck Mass Raiders is obviously not going to win a fight, and HawK is... this base is not perfect. HawK, if you hear this, I would recommend you actually go watch Starbuck replays and see how he builds his base. And also thank you to Luke and BB with the first-timer primer. How you doing, my dude? Thank you very much. I hope that first-time prime turns into a 2-month and a 3-month, and you enjoy your time over here, my dude. Yeah, because right now, HawK is, like, if he had a really good base build, he could just go counterattack the main. But because his base build is so poor, he actually has to defend, which allows Starbuck to play Ring Around the Rosie for the rest of the game. And Mads Bus with the 24 months. Or with the 35 months, actually. It says, Happy New Year. Do you still do this stuff with B2? Yeah, me and B2 hung out last month. I was in Toronto. But we live very far away. We live like 5 hours away from each other. And he doesn't really stream anymore, so we don't do anything online too much. Maybe he'll start streaming again, eventually. Oh, Starbuck somehow is winning the fight. This just shows how poorly this game has gone for HawK. Starbuck is winning the fight with Raiders. This is not how this is supposed to go. But it does show, definitely. It showcases that Pally Rifle is not an impenetrable strategy. If not played perfectly, it can still just fumble to headhunters like any other human strategy. So maybe this is not encouraging for HawK, but it's encouraging for Orc players, let's say. .36 versus 50, and an expansion comes up because he can actually defend it now. Oh, trying to force the town portal. Oh, slow. On a wolf, the auto cast. Healthstone swapped over to the Farseer. I feel like HawK built the Arcane Sanctum just too early. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Never really seemed to have a strong army this game. TP now forced. Not even really forced, just used to not lose any more units. Tactically. And HawK allowed to live another day. Expansion not mining yet. Do not underestimate Pally Rifles. If he is able to creep up a little bit, if he's able to get up to 50 supply, HawK has the micro to make it work. Starbuck goes forward yet again. No town portal, just 1 mana pot. A wand of mana stealing, probably the best item he could have found there. Feels like it. And Starbuck just trying to make space for his expansion. He's going to tower it up. Okay. HawK catching up in supply. He must know there's a Great Hall that's finished. HawK's a beginner at this strategy, not a beginner at this game. He has to know. Nice little snipe on the item. Raiders are very good at those sorts of things. So I watched on Flow TV the build. He makes his altar at 45 seconds. Lemus Makes his alter at 31 seconds. 15-second difference on the heroes between the build orders. Yeah, I too used to do an outdated Pally Rifle build. Like, my Pally used to come out the second time as at the same time as the second rifle, which is not how people do it anymore. People have a much better build order. Maybe HawK is stuck in the old Pally Rifle build.
A player's forces are under attack.
Supplies even. Expansion's up with only one tower, but is this the point in which HawK will win a fight? 5 raiders? I feel like HawK can now win a fight, finally. He's looking at the towers! But he needs to fully wall this. It's a silly, silly base build. It's very silly. They're all in a line. But he doesn't lose any towers. Yeah, you can clearly see the room for improvement from HawK. Better base, better build order. And honestly, those two things, and it's a very different game. If you compare this to Starbuck, Starbuck's towers would be here, and this would be fully walled. This would be fully walled with the lumber mill here. I would just encourage you to go watch a Starbuck replay of him playing Paladin Rifles. You'll see what I'm talking about. Still ring around the rosy. And Starbuck can play this game because HawK's base is not strong right now. It's not fortified. And Shredder now for Starbuck. Probably can go tier 3 soon as well. Okay, now he's starting to build an army that can fight. Kodos, grunts, upgrades. 77 supply. I will say, though, do not underestimate Pally Rifles. 80 versus 50. The human could still win. Maybe that's an over-exaggeration, but kind of. I will say, Orc players have lost 80 supply against 50 against Pally Rifles. 16 of this supply is Kodos that could die in a matter of seconds. Khagars is such a good item. Okay, is 6 towers enough for HawK to finally push the expansion? Five Kodos. 20 supply in Kodos. And 18 supply in Raiders. 38 of this supply is not that strong. The Grunts and the Headhunters, great. But the Raiders can control the Blood Mage very well. Here we go. Shockwave lands fantastic. Paladin has taken way too much damage. And TP out. Only one Kodo died. I think that was it. But there's no Dispel for the slow. Did anything get devoured? No, nothing got devoured. Oh, he's stuck. Is he super stuck? No. Okay, he gets out. And HawK goes again. Look at the slow! No Torn Totem, nothing. $55 supply. Do not underestimate Pally Rifles. One heal scroll and HawK can win this fight. Starbuck used 2 scrolls during that fight. Did he really? Heal scroll for HawK. Kodo's trying to get into range for the Devour. One Rifleman gets devoured. Speed scroll in. How many Kodos get the Devour? Oh, it's lunchtime. Literally. And she just called. Oh, yeah. 1-1. But do not be discouraged. I would love to see HawK try Pally Rifles again. If anybody regularly speaks to HawK, I would recommend you send him maybe a Lemus replay just for the build order. Just for the build order. Nothing. Just for the build order. Don't want to insult the guy. You know, HawK's a very experienced player. He can figure out the rest. But the build order would definitely help him quite a bit. And the base build. Those two things. There we go. Build order and base build. Makes a big difference. Because I would say, maybe this is bold to say, if Starbuck did the same strategy against Lemus, he would lose. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm crazy. On late today, huh? Yes, sir. Every Sunday we have this tournament. Last Refuge will be the next map. A Paladin map. You can play Pally Rifles here. Hell yeah, Shaker. But HawK may just go back to an expansion. Last Refuge can be a fantastic map to fast expand in this matchup because there's a mercenary camp. Yeah, actually, Last Refuge is a horrible map for Starbuck. Wow. I mean, you can't avoid LR because there's 5 maps in the pool, and this is a best of 5, so you have to play every map. So unfortunately, he just can't avoid LR, but it's a first map veto. In standard tournaments, you immediately veto Last Refuge. The Mert camp is just simply too strong. But there are some counterplays. We'll see if Starbuck does any of those. Okay, HawK just needs another minute, and then we'll be jumping into game 3. Two different strategies. It could be, we haven't seen yet the MK, which is also valid. Last Refuge is a fine MK map. Maybe a little bit of a struggle to creep the mercenary camp with an MK as opposed to the Archmage, but still very possible. Possible to make a Golem pull on LR for Orc? Yeah, totally is. Very, very common, in fact. You just can't do it as early as a human. You need to wait a little bit. I think you 24 supply you can do it at with a grunt head on our opener. And then you buy the Berserker. And it's pretty easy peasy. It's not really done with Farseer, though. It's mostly done with Blade Mirror Image. Hello, Saul. Hello. HawK needs your help, Saul. He needs your help. But maybe he will avoid the Pally Rifle for the rest of this series. LR Blade Mirror Image is Pog. Yeah, if you're going to play Blade Master first against Human, it's going to be on Last Refuge. Because Farseer is just... This map is just terrible in a standard game against Human. It's just truly awful. The only map that's worse than Last Refuge against Human is Terranus Stand. And Terranus Stand is unplayable. Terranus Stand is like 99% win for Human, 1% win for Orc, unironically. And Last Refuge is second worst to that. Last Refuge is probably more like a 65-35. But generally, you just veto those maps and it's fine. And then the matchup is probably Orc favored after that. But on these two maps, LR and Terranus Stand, oh boy, it's human favored. Every other map, though, probably 55-45 in Orc's favor. All right, put up the white flag. Put up the white flag here, okay? Just these two maps. Last Refuge being one of them. Game number 3. Let's see what HawK does this time around. Here we go. In the bottom left, here's HawK. No Pally Rifles this time around. Playing a strat that he's more comfortable with on a map that he should be favored on, in my opinion. Starbuck, if he was going to do something wacky, it would be here. For instance, Blade Master. Even if you play Blade Master into Headhunters, you can still, instead of playing Mirror Image right away, you go Windwalk, and you Windwalk, Creepjack the Golem over here. We've seen Grubby do that, of course. Very common. HawK and Grubby had that epic game on this map where Grubby played Blade Master. But it is going to be Farseer. Headhunters from Starbuck, playing it standard. And, oh, Starbuck actually going for the Peon. I said there were some counterplays to what human can do on Last Refuge. And this is one of them, the Peon. Now, if the human plays perfectly around the Peon, you cannot stop the Footman from getting the Priest. But there is room for error in which the Peon forces. The Footman finds it. Oh my god, HawK. So aware. So aware of the hiding places. Goes for the pull still. War Mill so that it doesn't get ensnared. Cancelled. But HawK still gets the Priest. Wait, never mind. Oh, he didn't have the resources. He was 30 gold shy. So it actually works. He gets the Priest, abolishes the Water Elemental, and now the Farseer has free reign with the Wolves. There we go. There's a counterplay right there. Brilliantly done from Starbuck. I haven't seen the War Mill before. That's fantastic. Okay, HawK gets the last hit. But really good harass. It all comes down to that Priest. If the human doesn't get the Priest, it's a completely different map. So disregard everything I said before this. We're on an even playing field now. Yeah, it's a fantastic play from Starbuck. Is that a consistent play? Probably not, because HawK should have got the Priest if he just had canceled a Footman. Or a Peasant, whatever he was building at the time. Like, HawK was there first with the Archmage, technically. He was just 30 gold short. Level 2, Gloves of Haste. And Starbuck creeping over here. Ambitious creeping. But gets him close to level 2. Then Chain Lightning means he can steal the next camp HawK goes for. Ward as well to make sure there's no expansion things going on. Oh, important last hit. Starbuck gets it. And now Chain Lightning becomes a very possibility that he can steal the Ogre Magi if that is the next creep camp for HawK. Another Priest now purchased. But the damage has kind of been done. Chain Lightning. That's a level 4 creep stolen. Or was it stolen? He did get it. This is all made possible by that Priest steal. Another Chain Lightning is almost available. Nice last hit. Does deny the level 3, because if with that little creep, if he had gotten the Huntsman, that would have been level 3 Archmage. The big Murloc wasn't killed? I don't know where it is. Maybe it was killed. I don't know where the item ended up, though. Okay, Wolves allow the Archmage to get level 3. Defend is done in 2 seconds, but Tier 2 is done in about 5 seconds. Well, 8 for Starbuck. Arseer comes in for a little bit more damage. Wants to kill that priest, but not able to. This harass is coming to an end. But a little bit more can be done. TC on the way, Spirit Lodge on the way. And we'll probably see a Bestiary after that. The reason he goes for Spirit Lodge first is because the Archmage is level 3 and he needs to make sure he has Shamans. Or else he'll just die to the counterattack. Oh, Farseer. I like the Priest buy so that he can heal up the Farseer and continue the pressure a little bit. Defend online. Oh, more peasants going down. One more. Oh, but he might have to TP. Does. But the harass was at a close anyway, so this way he gets back to his shop quicker. And maybe he goes and clears his expansion. If you're going to play Bestiary Spirit Lodge, you're most often playing counter expansion. So I would expect Starbuck to go eventually and clear his gold mine. Subscription. But continued pressure for now. Daytime's around the corner. That'll mean Ogre Mauler and Mud Golem available to HawK, which will be a nice, valuable purchase. I'm surprised. I feel like after Starbuck TP'd, he should have cleared this gold mine and then done the same exact play. Just 20 seconds later. Because 20 seconds isn't going to make a huge difference for HawK. His Arcane Tower was already up. He's now being aggressive, but with no counter expansion behind, he's got to do significant damage right now. Shaman's here. Only one of them currently. He went one Shaman into Adept training, interestingly. I guess he was supply blocked? No, he's not supply blocked. Not going for that second Shaman just yet. HawK not picking up the Mud Golem or the Ogre Mauler just yet. Okay, now Starbuck is going to go back. Because he does want to expand. I'm going to tell you guys this right now. He wants to counter expand.
A player's forces are under attack.
Oh, Grunt. Oh, it just walks back for a second too long. Starbuck bruised, but not really losing much. Just that Grunt. Now he can safely creep this shop if he wants to. HawK still tier 1, everybody. Kill scroll purchase. HawK continues the aggression. Archmage is doing all the heavy lifting right now. But there's enough Shaman mana to make Water Elementals have 0 impact from this stage. Okay, Tier 2's finally started. Level 2 and Scroll the Beast. Archmage going to be forced into a TP. He's trying to not use the town portal, and he actually doesn't have to, but loses a Berserker. HawK trying to get the SimCity going. Trying to build a tower. Maybe this tower's too late. Is Starbuck just going to all in? Towers at the main, but they're too late. Okay, Starbuck's going to creep the shop first. Wants level 3 TC. He probably has the time to do this.
Player's forces are under attack.
But Starbuck is putting all of his eggs in one basket. He is not counter-expanding. He's just playing one base. If he allows HawK to get tier 2, maybe HawK picks up a Panda. He gets a couple Sanctums up. Before you know it, HawK holds, and Starbuck is just going to lose to economy. But level 3 TC, these towers are not yet finished. In fact, they're pretty far off. And Scroll the Beast could make a real strong push out of this army. This tower will not get up. I don't think so. Tier 2 will be done. And the question is, will HawK commit to a Tavern Hero? Well, he's actually not going for the towers. Or will he go for the Mountain King? Mountain King is probably what he's going to go for. There's the Ogre Mauler and the Mud Golem. Militia called from the back. Starbuck has to get some serious damage done here. Shockwave is good. Heal Scroll counters it. Tier 2 is done. What hero do we have? Oh, the Mud Golem value. Speed Scroll out. Mountain King's on the way. 50 seconds. No Arcane Sanctum's on the way. Starbuck's still in position to do some damage. HawK barely makes it back to his expansion. And there's 3 towers here. But the Town Hall's exposed. Mountain King's here. Are we going to have Sanctums now? HawK's got the gold to build 2 Sanctums. There we go. Can he fit one here? I don't know if he can fit it. He can fit it here. There we go. Mountain King hopefully has rallied here. Yeah, nice. Still no counter expect. Oh, he went tier 3 during that, so he'll Tiny Great Hall, very similar to the first game. And Double Sanctum are up. Starbuck is going to have the massive hero level advantage. Oh, careful with the MK. One more bolt could kill this Raider. But he loses the MK. Heal Scroll. Yeah, the issue becomes now if Starbuck creeps this, then HawK is really limited on creep camps for the MK.
The player's forces are under attack.
Almost level 5 Farseer. But still, no Tiny Great Hall yet. He's going for Bloodlust, going for Berserker upgrade. He can get the Kodo upgrade as well. Does he even have a Kodo? He does. This is going to be a very strong army with very strong heroes, even despite 5,000 gold disadvantage this game, something like that. HawK gonna try to get these 3 creep camps, and if he can, that'll be Mountain King level 3, which is bare minimum what he needs to try to squeak by with. He's gonna be up against 5/5 Orc heroes. There's the Tiny Great Hall. HawK will be able to get the red camp. Needs lots of breakers against this amount of AoE. Rifle Caster just ain't gonna do it. And all the tier 3 upgrades coming through. Are we gonna see a Shredder? I guess Starbuck has enough lumber. He doesn't even need a Shredder. Could just build 2 more peons and probably be fine for the rest of the game. Just like that, we're 2 base, 2 base. Starbuck should have this one secured. He's got insane heroes. He's got a super strong tier 3 army. And HawK has only managed to squeak by with a 9 supply advantage after this early game. Breakers can do a lot. If he can maybe retrain to Blizzard and get a big wall of breakers. That's how HawK can win this fight. .65 supply against 50. Starbuck going for a Tauren Totem now, too. That's really going to make this army very, very potent. Town Hall. Level 3 Shockwave. Oh my god. Toto can eat that. Oh my god. Anyone like Chainwave? PC is out of mana now. Oh, one of mana stealing. Never mind. He has one more. 54 against 50. Mountain King has no survivability items, so he's got to be a little bit careful. Slow kicking in, and fantastic town portal from Starbuck. Loses one raider, does a ton of damage, and gets out of there. Huge TP. Starbuck. Taurens. Whenever he wants them. Double mana pot as well. He's going to do it all over again. Still not breaking upkeep. Starbuck having a little bit of fun maybe at this point. Has to be careful to not have too much fun. I'll say that much.
A town is under
There's the
siege.
retrain. Oh my god, the shockwave. Maybe HawK could have pushed Starbuck's expansion there. Either way. Stormbolt. Oh, the chain wave. Heal scrolls there. Oh, Farseer. Careful. Careful. Heal scroll used. TP not used. He passed the Onk over last second. And he does town portal out eventually. But scary. Look at the AoE. Torrens finally on the way now. Torrens is what he needs for a better front line. .67 against 55, but a lot of that's in production. There's the first Tauren. Does he have Pulverize done? Not yet. Oh, look at the AoE. Oh my god. No town portal currently for HawK. Forcing Starbuck into quite a good choke point, but he just doesn't have enough stuff. Shockwave barely dodged by the Archmage. Potion of Vulnerability going to be forced on the Mountain King. Look at the choke point, but this just shows how far ahead Starbuck is. Level 6 TC. And in the end, Starbuck does it. Nice game. Cool little trick with that priest steal. And then he just sort of snowballs from there. Cannot be understated how important that war mill trick with the scout peon was. That made all the difference this game. And we go into game number 4. On a much more neutral map, I'm sure. It'll either be... Oh, Shallow Grave is actually in the pool, which is another good human map. Or what's the other map? What's the other map? Hammerfall. Or was that already played? What was map number 1? I do not remember. Oh, it is. Okay, it is Hammerfall. Yeah. Map number 1 was Warhail, of course. Game number 4, everybody. HawK tie it up. I got a smile on my face. Saul, are you out there? Pally rifles from HawK on Hammerfall. Bottom right here is Starbuck. What will his opener be? Can HawK clean it up? Will Starbuck do the same strategy in countering this? See, this base build is kind of like the classic Pally Rifles base build. This is what people always used to do in the past. The outer base wall. This is what we see in 2v2 all the time. But these days, people being way more experienced with Pally Rifles, they build their base closer in and build big walls to block each side against the hit and run. Because this is a very easy base to break with Raiders. Very easy. It's not a fat wall, you know? It's a skinny wall. So this is where HawK is going wrong with his base build, and his build order is also, I believe, slightly inefficient. Although I will admit I don't know the build order with Pally Rifles anymore. I used to do Thorzane's Pally Rifle build, but I think that's out of date now. Aggressive Arcane Tower, which will help against the harass. It's going to allow him to creep probably this and this much more easily. Let's see how it plays out. Starbuck will soon be licking his lips looking at this base. I'm certain of it. Peasants called to militia. First Holy Light already going to be forced as soon as the Paladin's out. Might as well use it right away. There we go. I like the auto attacks on the Farseer. That's just the first set of wolves. Ooh, experience actually goes to the Pally. A little late resummon. Arcane Tower about to be up. And there it is. One attack to assert dominance. This creep camp should be free with that Arcane Tower. But the tech is Omega delayed. Plus one attack. Same so far build from Starbuck. No changes. Gets the last hit. Gets that last hit as well. He needs to pull this guy close to the Arcane Tower. But struggling to do that a little bit. Again, the fourth farm was late. So the fifth rifleman will be late. And again, he goes for the shop. Because, well, he needs to. He's taking a lot of damage. Starbuck wants to steal this. He wants to so badly. And this tower really hasn't done much. Hasn't done much at all. And last hit stolen. Oh, we're really close to losing a rifleman. And Savage, thank you for the 500 bits there with the Makura emote. Appreciate that. I haven't actually seen that before. That's cool. Cool you can do that. Healing up at the shop. TC on the way again. Okay, Starbuck goes for the same approach. Oh, losing the tower. And a rifleman almost dies, but doesn't. Worth noting, last time he played Pally Rifles earlier in the series, HawK did lose a rifleman. This game, he did not lose a rifleman. But he did lose some peasants and the tower. Tower's not a big deal. Peasants, probably not a big deal either. Rifleman number, healthy. TC out, double bestiary. Again. Troll regen, valuable, and he's going to go for both center camps. HawK trying to stop this. He's got a good read on the situation. I swear to God, if HawK picks up a panda right now. Oh, Creepjack gets one header, forces the TP, and TP is very valuable when you're playing 2 bestiary. Of course. This is a better game than the Northern Isles game. Absolutely, without a doubt, from HawK. The base build's still very questionable, but mechanically, he's done better. And he'll successfully get his lab. Lumber mill. Look at the lumber mill. It's here. It's in the back. Look at the farms. They're all in the back as well. The towers can't defend themselves, okay? They're scared without things in front of them. Paladin, not so scared anymore. Potion of Invulnerability and level 3. If HawK can force a fight, he will win that fight. But the issue becomes forcing it now. Starbuck's so good at maneuvering on the map. Yeah, I agree, Toxie. I fully agree. Starbuck did not buy the TP, but he has the 70 gold TP. Speed scroll. He's got long rifles. It is done. Yeah, these towers are not it, Chief. But it's still one base, one base. There's no expansion coming up. And both players are creeping. This is all good for HawK. I'm kind of rooting for HawK. I want to see a game 5. And I want HawK to keep playing Pally Rifles, so I want him to win this to encourage him to keep playing it. That's what I want. That's what I want to see. Okay, Peon is here. Perfectly timed with the attack. It's just these towers are so silly. But they do the job for now.
A player's forces are under attack.
I mean, you're just begging for a lumber mill to be built right here. Just begging for it. Lemus would certainly have 3 riflemen split over here already. Oh, it's just a tower, actually. Like one farm here, lumber mill here, even like right here, and this base is okay.
A player's forces
It's
are
a
under attack.
2.8 out of 5 if he does that, but far from a 5 out of 5. I would make Sorks. That's what HawK did on Northern Isles, which I assume he will do again. Still one base, one base. So many towers. Supply still even. Tier 3. for Starbuck.
Player's forces are under attack.
And HawK in position, finds the army. Buying time for the raiders, but the raiders... Well, they could actually kill the barracks if they ensnare those peasants. Oh, and towers here. I like how as soon as the towers are scouted, he builds a Great Hall at the other position. But then once he hits tier 3, he'll tiny Great Hall where the towers are, I'm sure. Raiders. Oh, too much multitasking. That's a lot of towers, dude. He doesn't even need a good base build if he's just going to build 7 towers. Expansion canceled. And now that HawK has 7 towers, he's going to happily base trade. Lumber mill in the front. There we go. I mean, it's a workaround. It's a workaround. Like, instead of building a good base, he just builds a ton of towers. Heal scroll used. The shockwave is fantastic. He's got a greater mana on the Farseer as well. Oh no, he's breaking the base, isn't he? Greater mana going to be swapped over. There we go. But how much damage is Starbuck taking in the meantime? He's going to lose all of his burrows. And all but 1 peon, most likely. Quantity over quality? Yeah, for sure. But HawK saves 5 peasants. He's killing the main. Oh, he's going to lose his main too, though. HawK needs a TP. Yep. Damn. Dude, he's had so many towers, but the base is just not good enough. Still, though, Starbuck's severely supply blocked. Does have enough peons left over, however. And now all the towers are done. They're all dead. He didn't get the last burrow kill, or else he would have killed all the peons. I think instead of attacking the fortress, he should have just killed this last burrow and gotten the peons. Oh, it's such a simple thing to fix for HawK, too. Both games. You just need a good base build, and what Starbuck is doing doesn't work. I think Starbuck knows that, too. He's just abusing a mistake from HawK. Like, again, I'll say, he would not be playing this style versus Lemus. I'm sure of it. This is just simply a bad base build. Like, imagine, even if the towers were just here, just build them in the back. All you need to do is defend your keep. Starbuck slowly getting up to supply again. He's only 34 supply currently, Starbuck. HawK waiting for more towers, and then he's going to do it all over again. Zeppelin. This is fantastic from Starbuck, because now he's going to be able to cancel the towers. And that's all he really needs to do. Oh, misses the shockwave a little bit. Zeppelin out. Not a ton of damage, but enough. Okay, 2 base finally for Starbuck. This is still not defendable, though. If HawK pushes this, he cannot fight to hold. Zeppelin half HP. Now power build workshop. Yeah, that'd be a great idea. Four towers almost up. Staff teleportation on the Blood Mage could be a thing. Leave the Blood Mage here with a couple of riflemen. Go push this expansion. There's a lot of plays that HawK could be making.
Under attack.
There's no shockwave you can push. Mamma mia. Mamma mia. Okay, HawK is going. Okay, there's enough towers now. He's pushing this expansion. Forcing the fight. But not the whole army's here. HawK needs to bring the rest of his army. With these 4 riflemen, he will own the fight, but he needs his whole army. Starbuck continues to buy time. When is he placing down 2 Tauren totems? I don't know if he's ever going to have the lumber with the way this game's going. Another lumber mill, maybe. Mamma mia. Here we go again. So silly, dude.
A town is under siege.
Okay, 1 rifleman falls. Banish on another one.
Player's forces are
More towers. He needs to kill this, though, soon. Look at Starbuck's gold. As soon as he has enough lumber, he can put down 2 Tauren totems. Okay, HawK goes. He says, enough is enough. I need to kill this. Tauren Chieftain has no shockwave. The towers should be enough. 6 towers here. Okay, yeah, this should be enough for HawK. He's got a TP. There's 3 raiders that aren't even here currently. There is a shredder.
a player's forces are under attack.
Starbuck with 70 supply of what? Raiders and peons? I guess so. Oh. Repair! HawK has a lot of gold, though, even if he loses his main. I guess if he loses his main, he can't TP back, though. Okay, he's got a TP now. HawK, TP. TP now. TP now, HawK. Oh, maybe not. There's not enough raiders anymore. And he's got enough resources to continuously repair. Just barely. By the skin of his paladin, he holds. I would have TP'd. I would have been horrified. Did he do it? Starbuck's 62 supply raiders could still not win a fight. He's invested all of his resources into raiders. There is pillage, yes. HawK has 1,200 gold still. Okay, there is a shockwave finally now. But HawK can just town portal. TP now, though. Please TP. HawK? HawK, TP, my dude. Okay, there we go. Now we can remake buildings in proper place, says Lemus. Oh, what a very entertaining game. Very, very entertaining. This is why I like seeing Bally Rifles, you know? Because it just creates complete chaos. Did HawK rebuy the TP? He's about to. Starbuck, 50 supply. Main bases, by the way, 2,200, 1,500. Burrow gonna be killed over here. And then TP back. Oh, he doesn't actually kill it. So Starbuck is going to lame to the end of the game now. He is trying to eliminate HawK. Lumber mills. That is Starbuck's one and only goal now. He needs to kill every single building of HawK's because these main bases are running out. And Starbuck's going to try to expand, but he's never going to, at this point, be able to produce an army that will win a fight. So his only play is to slowly but surely kill off all the buildings. He's trying to get Shockwave level 3. That will help tremendously. HawK is waiting for lumber mills. And maybe a shop? Is he building a shop? He needs to go get a teepee. Imagine how much impact the Staff of Teleportation on the Blood Mage would have had this game.
A town is under siege.
Rifleman realizes the expansion. Vanish? No, doesn't land. Double expansion from Starbuck. Wolves split off to deal with this Rifleman. Zeppelin's still over here, but not going to do much against this amount of towers. Oh, pause. Oh my god. 2 minutes of mining left in the mains. And just imagine if HawK just had a good base build. Like, the reason I'm mentioning it, the reason why everyone in chat keeps mentioning it, is because you're seeing how important it is in a game like this to have a good base build, because your base is your defense. You're playing, trying to force the fight as the human player in this position. How do you force the fight? By the orc player not being able to hit and run your base. So it's broken record, yeah, but it's so important. With that being said, I'll reiterate again, for the Starbuck side of things, I don't think this strategy for Starbuck is good. He's had better ideas against Pally rifles. I only think the reason Starbuck's playing this is because HawK is building a poor base, which allows Starbuck to play hit and run. If HawK was doing the correct things, maybe that Lemus would do, that maybe Fortitude would do, we would not see Starbuck playing this strategy, in my opinion. Because despite all the mistakes from HawK, he's probably still winning here. Lots of raiders. TP will be forced again, I think. But yeah, we need to see a town portal soon. There's no shockwave at least. There's chain lightning. Oh, there's a mana pot. Level 5. He's gonna lose his main. HawK. HawK, don't give up. TP back. Don't give up on your base. Don't give up on your base. No, HawK. No, HawK. Why? Why are you giving up? HawK just gave up. He said, whatever. He doesn't want to play this game anymore. No. No, HawK. No, why'd you do this to yourself? Now what Starbuck has to do is he just has to wait for shockwaves and he's just going to slowly eliminate them.
The town is under siege.
So Starbuck should just start hiding buildings. All he needs to do is hide buildings. And then just slowly kill all this stuff. There's no peasants left. All you need to do is TP. Or better yet, have a Staff of Teleportation on the Blood Mage. And you win the game. No! HawK had this. Despite all the mistakes, he had this. He didn't even need a TP. He just needed a staff. He just needed a staff. You staff back. You banish all the raiders. You siphon all the mana from the TC so there's no shockwave. He has a peon in the Zeppelin. It's unwinnable. It's unwinnable. He can build a war mill here. And there's no counter. Okay, the only way is if Starbuck, like, loses everything. Okay, we could actually have a draw. Funnily enough, okay, so here's how we could have a draw. Is if Starbuck accidentally throws and loses everything, and then HawK is going to be unable to ever get a Zeppelin because he's supply blocked with no peasants, and he can never actually counter a building on the island. So if Starbuck massively screws up, this game could be a draw. It would take a huge mistake from Starbuck. I'm not saying it's likely. It would take a massive mistake. Aren't there still creeps? No, I mean there's not enough supply. He would have to, okay, he'd have to suicide units to get a Zeppelin. Now, I guess he could lose unit. He could kill his own units off and buy a Zeppelin. But not if he loses all these farms. But yeah, no, he's going to lose every building now. He needed to split his army. He's bringing his whole army to kill this. Does HawK have a hidden building? I don't think he does, right? He's running back, but he's going to lose everything. There's no buildings, right? This is it. This is it. What an interesting game. Truly is. But, tricky. Yeah, I don't think there's any other buildings. Starbuck will get the 3-1 unless he can banish the whole army. Eliminated. Oh, you were the chosen one, HawK. Oh, a single staff of teleportation on the Blood Mage. TPing instead of losing the town hall. Anything.